Dynamite! Fright Night! Where the only thing scarier than Tony Khan is Tony Khan's creative. There may be some disappointed patrons in the venue tonight, man. Jesse and I didn't mind this show tonight. I know, it's shocking. I know. But Dynamite wasn't all that bad tonight, man. We got some good wrestling. We got some build towards blood and guts. We got the women's tag team title tournament taking place tonight and starting an upset, in my honest opinion. And we got some build towards Full Gear. Now, obviously, there will be complaints because there is no Wednesday night that is immune to complaints. But it wasn't all that bad. It wasn't all that bad tonight. Would I have rathered played Battlefield 6? Yes. If that gives you any indication of how I feel about this show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue inside my mother's basement. Jesse's with us with another outstanding rendition of Collision Corner. And the drinks, they'll be ice cold. Ladies and gentlemen, when I get there on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for October 29th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only Chi-Town Smart. What's going on, brother?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, bro?
What is this I hear, man? No Collision Corner?
Yeah, bro. I had I had an extremely long morning, man.
Ah.
Extremely long morning, then afternoon, and as you know, I had some personal issues to deal with this morning, and this afternoon I had stuff around the house. I couldn't get to Collision, bro. There will be no Collision Corner tonight, my friend.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. No Collision Corner, so you don't have to worry about it. Don't ask for it. Jesse had more important things to take care of, like sleep and his health.
Personal health
yes,
and all this other stuff. Man.
So next week, I'm sure you guys are going to be fine, and you're going to sleep very easily tonight, man. Don't worry about it. He'll be back next week with Collision Corner.
Back next week. I'll make it extra spicy next week. I promise.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Tonight we're sponsored by BetterHelp. Make sure you guys go and check out my fine sponsor for tonight. A sponsor that's not going to get us canned on YouTube.
Oh,
like the last fucking sponsor.
Is that what happened? Did you actually run a DraftKings ad or something?
No, it wasn't DraftKings. It was my bookie.
It was an
online betting site. Yes, apparently YouTube told me that the choice of ad sponsorship, which I'm going to blame on the advertiser company that reached out to me, didn't do their due diligence, and now they got me a warning on my YouTube channel, which is fine. But
every time I turn my fucking head, I gotta look at a betting fucking app or like that. But you get flagged for it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I ran 3 prior ads, and apparently now they got me.
Unfucking believable.
Yes,
that's
after being sponsored by DraftKings all last year, too.
Oh my god!
But apparently DraftKings is all right. DraftKings is safe. FanDuel is safe. My bookie apparently is not safe.
So they're not paying YouTube, is what it is.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're not paying Google. Yes.
Okay.
So tonight we're sponsored by BetterHelp. Make sure you guys go and reach out to BetterHelp. Tony Khan needs some BetterHelp creatively.
Bro, that's so weird. I was taking care of my morning business today, and BetterHelp came up in my dialogue today.
There you go.
So
tonight we're sponsored by BetterHelp.
Very good company to do business with, man.
Absolutely. BetterHelp.com/script. 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/script. We'll talk about them over the course of the evening here tonight on Off the Script. So make sure you guys go and check them out. Listen, chat, there's going to be, I know there'll be some salty individuals in the chat, and there may be some unhappy patrons in the venue tonight. But Jesse and I were discussing a few things in the sound check of the show before we went live tonight. And believe it or not, tonight's Dynamite wasn't as offensive as the last several weeks have been. So if you're looking for me yelling at the top of my lungs and reaching a 12 on the Richter scale here, I will not be doing that. Tonight's show, Jesse, wasn't all that bad. Now, it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And we still have some questions in regards to some things and how they're going about certain storylines or why things are happening. But I thought tonight was fairly straightforward. Their theme shows usually are the better of the Dynamites that we see throughout the course of the year. And they did baby steps. We took some steps towards progression to building towards the women's tag team title tournament where we got an upset in the first round. I didn't think that the Sisters of Sin would advance. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. That was a nice surprise. We got some tag team title tournament news. We got Blood and Guts announced for the men's side anyway. We don't know if there's going to be a women's Blood and Guts. And we got Samoa Joe versus Adam Page rematch from Wrestle Dream at Full Gear for the AEW World Championship. So all in all, man, they forwarded some things. It wasn't bad. They left out, all of the nonsense and the fluff. And it was very straightforward tonight. I didn't really mind tonight's show.
No, the show was fun. It's kind of weird, like watching the show live and you're just like expecting the worst. And then before you know it, 3/4 away into the show, I'm just sitting around like, you know what, Chad, this show is low key not bad. I mean, what am I? But you're just always expecting the worst because normally the shows just are the worst. So you're like, okay, this is going to be bad. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, this one's going to be bad. Okay, that was pretty good. Oh shit, the show wasn't bad at all. What the hell? All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like he's lost, Tony's lost a lot of trust in the fans. The fan base, the sickos, are the only ones that are still remaining watching this show on a week-to-week basis with, eyes wide open and full excitement. We are not. We're a little bit more realistic over here. But he's lost a lot of that trust, and that's unfortunately the nature of the beast here when watching Dynamite. You automatically, because it's been so bad and he's been coasting for so long with little effort, no effort, that you watch the show and you automatically think it's going to be a fucking terrible night. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we thought when we were watching those dismal days of Monday Night Raw back in 2019, 2020. And that's not something anybody wants to go back and relive. And unfortunately, we're feeling that same way with Dynamite now until things, we hope, turn around for the better. But yeah, that's the name of the game here. Now, as far as the show tonight, Jesse, what did you, over the course of the 2 hours, what was your biggest takeaway? What's the biggest piece of topic you want to start with here over the course of this Fright Night Dynamite?
So, since we're living in Bizarro world today, where the show was actually good, I'm going to start off with something that I didn't like about the overall show.
Oh boy.
And that is the fact that it seems that we're just getting Wrestle Dream Part 2, the remix.
You read my mind, bro. We talked about that on TNT last night.
Yeah. And as I was watching the main event, I was sitting there saying, and we were talking, and we were like, okay, well, who's going to win this match? Like, okay, well, I got Bobby Lashley winning, pinning Ricochet, and then going on to face Hangman, and then probably get screwed by returning MJF. So then they'll get into MJF versus Bobby Lashley. And no. We're just getting Joe and Hangman all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
unfortunately.
This is like what, the third or fourth rematch of the card?
Bro, we're looking at Full Gear right now, tentatively. Samoa Joe, this is confirmed. Samoa Joe versus Adam Page for the World Championship. That was the main event, or at least the co-main event of Wrestle Dream.
All right.
Then we got Mercedes and Statlander, which is a rematch from Full Gear last year, and World's End last year. So it's Full Gear and World's End that they had their matches back-to-back pay-per-view. So that's a rematch. Looks like we're heading towards Jon Moxley and Darby Allin again after Blood and Guts, because Darby came out last week and said wherever the Death Riders are, he will be. We're looking at maybe the Demands versus the Hurt Syndicate again, or maybe Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley one-on-one, which is basically the same thing. That seemingly is never ending. And Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship, which was also a rematch coming out of Wrestle Dream for the TNT title. So they're going to ask you, bro, to pay $50 for a show that you already watched and didn't like. So they're giving it to you again.
Same fucking card. It is literally the same card. I mean, that is that's ballsy.
Yeah,
that's ballsy to have a pay-per-view, charge people $40 to $50, and then a month later do the same pay-per-view again. That is fucking ballsy, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that at all.
Yeah, it's not like these matches have any huge storyline implications, or there's some big overwhelming story that's going to watch play out that you're going to watch week to week with bated breath. There's nothing there that's even remotely close to that. It's just Tony Khan is just so lazy, and he's got 6 or 7 other things on his plate that he can't be bothered to book a brand new pay-per-view. It's basically everything that you got at the last show, you're going to get again and again and again. So
they can, and I think they booked themselves into a corner here, but they can run the main event back. They can run the world title match back. There's plenty of precedence for that. I mean, and you can always run the main match back, but you could at least give us a brand new undercard that leads to the rematch of the main event. They're just giving us the same card.
Basically.
It's just the same fucking card. And now they're in a position where they have to either crown Joe and take the title off of Hangman, or label Joe as a back-to-back 2-time loser.
I'm glad you brought this up, because Joe turns heel at Wrestle Dream.
Yep.
And now the ops are heel. Shibata, I mean, I don't really care for Shibata, but Hobbs and Joe are the two main guys there. They are now heel. You turn them heel, and we all know why you turn them heel, because you feel like that's the only way that a rematch here at Full Gear will make sense. So they're building to it. Now, Joe and Paige coming out of the pay-per-view was presumed to be the main event of Full Gear, yet Tony booked a predictable match here, a fatal four-way with Samoa Joe, Hook, Ricochet, who has nothing to do with any championship, period, because he's a fucking loser, and Bobby Lashley, who I'll get to in a second. I don't know why Hook is in there. Actually, we do know why Hook is there, but kayfabe-wise, for the World Championship, he has no business being in that situation. He was merely there to take a loss. So that's why he was there. Jesse, what I looked at here is AEW, once again, being as predictable as they possibly could be and not having any fun. I don't know why we need to have Samoa Joe once again go after the World Championship after turning heel. Like you said, they booked themselves into a corner because with a heel turn on the babyface, going into a match where he was clearly a babyface, came out of it heel, and now you're building a heel babyface dynamic going into the next pay-per-view for the World Championship. One would assume that Joe would need to win the championship to fulfill and make sense of his heel turn. That will not happen. Nobody believes Samoa Joe will be the world champion, so he's probably looking at a second loss in a row, which will diminish Samoa Joe creatively, and it's going to make the entire group look like a bunch of losers. Now, instead of doing that, you could have turned Joe heel, and you could have had him feud with Hook, because there's unfinished business there. They've never really tapped into that. Joe turns heel. Hook is a babyface. Hook could say, I knew you guys were bad. I knew there was something wrong with you guys. You left me out to dry there, and you got rid of me, and you replaced me, and now you did this. And just start something there. Create some dialogue there. Create a story there, and build to that going into Full Gear. That would be a fresh match. What I would have done here is had Bobby Lashley win the match, go and wrestle Hangman. You get Bobby Lashley into the main event scene, which we've been pitching for weeks now. And then the wild card factor for the Bobby Lashley-Adam Page match at Full Gear would be MJF. And it would create a whole new dynamic. It would create a whole new unpredictable element because he's got the contract. He got kicked out of the Hurt Syndicate. What's going to happen there? He's obviously got history with Paige. They and Triple H, I'm going to lump into this too, bro. They don't know how to have any fun. Tony doesn't know how to have any fun. Triple H doesn't know how to have any fun. Why is everything so paint by numbers? Why is everything so fucking predictable, man? If I'm booking this thing, Bobby Lashley's going over. We're getting a fresh match at Full Gear, and we're going to go into the end of the year and close out 2025 with a top-tier world title story. And they didn't do that.
That's exactly what I was expecting the whole night, man. I looked at that. I thought they had a nice little group in the Fatal 4-Way. I thought that was a nice little, pick. I mean, I'm like, I'm not sure why Hook was there. Nobody believed Hook was going on the challenge for the world title. But Ricochet, who performed his ass off tonight, Bobby Lashley is someone that everyone is waiting to be in the world title picture. And then we got Joe, who just lost his opportunity, and now he's right back in it. So I figured we were getting Lashley, finally getting Lashley in the main event scene. And I figured nobody was beating Hangman but MJF. So I figured MJF would come out. And I was thinking this the whole night. And they went right back with Joe. I'm like, well, now what the fuck are we doing here? Is Joe going to be a 2-time loser?
Yes.
Are we getting a new world champion? Because I don't see it.
No, why would they take the belt off Page to put it on Joe and miss out on doing MJF and Adam Page again?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't get it.
And how stupid, can I just say this for everybody watching? Because I know, and Jesse knows, that there are people in that company and in that locker room that watch this show every week, or at least get wind of what we say every week. Why is it a thing every week to make Bobby Lashley, who I'm not a big fan of, but I know that he in this company is certainly a main event guy and should be in the main event. I don't know what the fuck we're waiting for. Why is it a thing now where Bobby Lashley looks like a fucking idiot? He came out there tonight, wrestled his ass off in that Fatal 4-Way, which was a very good match. And then Ricochet takes a steel chair to his back, and Bobby Lashley, like an idiot, turns his back on the match, which is for the #1 contendership for the world title, to go chase Ricochet because he got hit in the back with the steel chair, leaving Joe in the ring with Hook for Hook to tap out almost immediately, and Bobby Lashley looked like a fucking dummy. Why? Well, who booked that ending to make Bobby Lashley look that fucking brain dead? I don't know if anybody else had a problem with that, but that was fucking ridiculously stupid.
I don't know. Why didn't they just have Lashley just go down?
I don't know.
Hit him with the chair. You're down. He's down because he got hit with a chair, so he wasn't able to get in there and stop the pin. But yeah, he didn't have to no-sell the Jimmy. He just go down.
He no-sold the chair shot, chased Ricochet to the back. He realized that Joe had to go clean the coquina clutch on. It was too late for him to get back there. Hook tapped out before Bobby Lashley could get in the ring. I don't get it. So now we're looking at Ricochet and Bobby Lashley and Samoa Joe versus Adam Page. 2 rematches, basically, from WrestleDream.
And let's go back for a second. Why is Ricochet the smartest man in the room? You know there's no DQ in a fatal 4-way.
No DQ.
No DQ. That the commentators are talking about how the referee didn't see the chair shot. Who gives a shit? Why is no one else using chairs? It's no DQ.
Well, honestly, I get your point. You're 100% correct, but it's actually nice to see a match with no plunder for the sake of it,
But there's no DQ. All these guys have factions. Where's Ricochet's fucking group? He's a heel.
Left in the back. Shelton Benjamin left in the back. Hobbs and Shibata left in the back.
I mean, I can appreciate the hey, let's handle this like men handshake type no interference deal, sure. But I'm a heel. There's no DQ. Why am I playing by the rules?
I don't know. It's a good point.
Well,
Samoa Joe is the number 1 contender for the AEW World Championship at Full Gear. So we are getting that rematch, and we'll talk about how the ending came about with the costumes and the Halloween festivities, which was horribly, horribly executed. But I left my ass off at the fact that Adam Page was dressed as Tony Schiavone this year and not the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
We'll definitely get into that. Another thing I liked about tonight's show, Jesse, and believe it or not, we can make fun of them all we want because it is a ridiculous faction, is the Don Callis family. For the first time since I think maybe ever, the Don Callis family had an in-ring segment that actually made sense and actually forwarded a storyline. Don Callis finally realized that there are tensions between, instead of ignoring it, which he has been, tensions between Takeshita and Okada. And he wanted a family summit tonight with all of the Don Callis family surrounding him. And he brought out Takeshita and he had him face-to-face with Okada. And he knows that there's growing tensions and they need to be a family because as a family, they're better together than not. And he wanted Takeshita to shake Okada's hands because that's what's right for the family and show mutual respect. He's the IWGP champion. Okada's the unified champion. Let's shake hands and move on and let bygones be bygones. Okada did not want to shake his hand. It looked like he was going to shake his hand, but instead he gave him the middle finger. And there are still tensions, even worse now this week than there was last week. And Don Callis says, you are going to prove to the family that you both can be on the same page. And there is a match made for Collision, which is taping, I think, tonight or tomorrow, one or the other. And they're wrestling the Acclaimed, Caster and Bowens, in a tag team match on Collision. And they need to remain as a family, and they need to coexist. I thought the dialogue here, being led by Don Callis, being that Takeshita, he speaks very good English, but it's broken English. And Okada, I'm not looking for Okada to be an MJF-like presence on the microphone. So I did like Don Callis's vibe here. I thought he was the right guy to moderate this thing and speak for both guys and just kind of get the story out there. I thought this was a great segment, man. This was the first time in a while that I enjoyed a Don Callis family segment without making fun of the overabundance of talent there. But it really focused on Takeshita and Okada, and I really enjoyed it.
It was fun. I didn't quite understand the overall purpose of them getting in the ring and sitting down at the table like that. This seems to me like this could have been a backstage recorded segment. They were backstage having a sit down meeting, and this came up. I don't know why this was live and in the ring. But all in all, it was fun. I think that portrait that they read, all of these Don Callis portraits are just awkward and weird.
It is weird. I don't know who paints them. I mean, I'd be very curious to know. Maybe it's that Rob Schamberger that does all the artist renderings there. I don't know. It's good. It's very talented, but it's very
good.
Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, it's nothing I'd hang in my office, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I'm just like, how is no one looking at this like, bruh, this, what the fuck? Why? No, what? Why? No. It's kind of weird, but whatever.
It may be an AI portrait, Pandy. I didn't even think of that. It may be an AI portrait. Who knows?
That's a good point. Now, here's what I would have done with this entire segment. I would have taken all of it. I would have put it backstage, and I would have given it that same Lucha Underground type production.
Yes.
That's what I would have done with this segment. That would have made it so much better. I don't think this needed to be live and in the ring. This could have been them having a sit-down meeting, backstage or whatever layer they have somewhere else, and had that same camera fucking work and that music. That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was fine. If I had to grade it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I think it could have been a 9 or a 10 out of 10 easily if they would have done the same skit backstage with.
And this is why I say they don't know how to have any fun, man. I mean, if they did that like in the same way of a Lucha Underground segment, or even going back to the Darby and Moxley segment from the prison, where they were in that room there, just that confessional room, whatever it was. I feel like if it was shot like that, it would have been fantastic. Like Don Callis, I could see him sitting at the head of the table, like Dario Cueto would be sitting in his office with the darkened lighting, and the Don Callis family all sitting there, kind of conglomerating around Don Callis. It's they don't know how to have any fun, man. They need to differentiate themselves from what WWE is doing, and they need to do something different that's going to pop the crowd or pop the audience and say, "Oh shit, that's fucking great. That looks great. That sounds great." Not only that, the presentation is going to enhance the group. Like, I want to like the group because there's a bunch of talented fucking guys in there, and then they do nothing. Like, it's just a regular in-ring segment like we see every fucking week on pro wrestling television, and it's just more of the same stuff. They don't know how to be different. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
We will definitely get into this Dynamite. We got the rest of the show to go over. Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly, which led to the announcement of blood and guts between the conglomeration and Darby Allin versus the Death Riders. The women's tag team title tournament kicked off tonight with Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata versus the Sisters of Sin. Skye Blue, she needed the money. Oh, yes, Skye Blue and Julia Hart got the win tonight over Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata. So we'll go over that and whatever else you guys want to talk about tonight. This is your AEW Dynamite post-show, Fright Night, right here for your Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. So like I said in the beginning, my Monday Night Raw stream got taken down because of an ad placement that I thought was okay and was not. It's not my fault. I was told that everything was good to go because I asked these questions beforehand, and apparently it was not. So the Monday Night Raw stream got taken down, but I did re-upload it. And believe it or not, it got still over 10,000 views. It's nowhere near the 25 that we usually do on Mondays, but mixed together, not a bad Monday night there. So if you guys missed the Monday Night Raw review, which was more of the same, I mean, they didn't really forward stories over there. Saturday night's main event hopefully gives way to a very fruitful Survivor Series. So if you guys missed that stream, go and check that out along with anything else. We were live last night for Tuesday Night Titans. Jason and I were working with a lot of nothing, and we made chicken salad out of chicken shit. Very slow news week, but some great discussion that came off that show. So please go check that stuff out, all on the homepage. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Go follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on Twitter and as well on YouTube. So make sure you guys go click his name at the top of the description here, down below. It'll take you right to his channel. Anything to report on your end, bro?
Same old. I think I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna cover this Saturday. I don't know if I should cover Collision or Saturday night's main event.
I think you do Saturday night's main event, bro.
But Collision, bro.
Collision Corner next week. They have to wait.
But Collision. Yeah, I think I am gonna do Saturday night's main event.
That's the right business maneuver. I'll tell you that right now.
That seems to be the more exciting show. We're gonna roll with that one. So join me this weekend for Saturday night's main event live.
So there you go. Jesse will be doing his live reactions over there. So go hang out with him on Saturday night. I believe it's at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. start time, probably run till maybe 9. I don't know. Now they're on Peacock. Maybe they can go past the 9 o'clock hour. Maybe we get 2.5 hours. I don't know. We'll see. Four matches on the card right now. They may add a fifth. They may not add a fifth. I have no idea. So we still have another SmackDown to go in Salt Lake City, Utah. I do not like the fact that CM Punk is wrestling for the World Championship and may win the world title in Utah. I don't like it. We'll see what happens there. 7 p.m. start time, I believe.
Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern. There we go.
There you go. So go check that stuff out. Jesse, you'll be live. I'll be live for the post show. Should be a good Saturday night. Please hit that thumbs up. Strive for 750 likes. That's the goal here on Wednesday night. So please go and do that. And super chats, they are open. Make sure you guys get them on in. That's the best way to support the show. This is the very last Dynamite stream for the month. We'll be live on Friday night. That'll be the very last stream for the month of October. So make sure you guys get those super chats in. Very good way to support what we do here on Wednesday nights and every night. And again, we are sponsored by BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/scripts. Make sure you guys sign up, use that promo code and that unique link to get 10% off your first month over at betterhelp.com. All right, man, let's start at the top here with this Dynamite post. We got start of the show at the top of the hour. Not the most exciting way to start the show because the less of Wheeler Yuta and Danny Garcia I see, the better. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin teamed up against Wheeler Yuta and Danny Garcia in a trick-or-treat Texas tornado match. Or it was a trick-or-treat tornado tag team match, but it was basically a Texas tornado tag team match. No rules, anything goes here, so no tags. It's a free-for-all, basically. This was basically the start of what we got later in the show, Jesse, with the Blood and Guts announcement. It was just the conglomeration versus the Death Riders, and then we got the big blow-off and the announcement after the Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly match. This wasn't, it wasn't bad. It was a match. Fans enjoyed it. They popped for some of the spots here. Allin and the Death Riders, they're in there. Yuta and Garcia, they had Allin, and they sent him crashing out to the floor. They set tables up at ringside. Cassidy dared both to get back into the ring with his hands in his pockets. He caught both with drop kicks and DDTs. Garcia then dodged a stun dog millionaire into a guillotine, and then he gator rolled to the floor, placing Cassidy on the table. Yuta flew off the top with a big splash through Orange Cassidy and through the table. So Allen's back in there. He dared Garcia to hit him with the skateboard, but it was a way to lure Garcia in, and once his head was down to pick up the skateboard, Darby Allin hit a code red. Quickly up to try a coffin drop. Yuta cut off Allin. Tree of Woe, boot to the groin. Cassidy went up, made the save, and then raked at the back until Allin powered up into a low blow. Cassidy leapt off the top with a satellite DDT. Darby Allin followed with a coffin drop. Garcia broke the count by a eyelash hair. Very, very narrowly broke the count. Orange Cassidy delivered the orange punch to Garcia on the apron. Yuta was caught with soul food before Cassidy hit a dive on Garcia through a table. Allin then applied the Scorpion Deathlock on Yuta, and that was it. Yuta taps out. So Jon Moxley tapped out to the Scorpion Deathlock at Wrestle Dream after a I Quit match where he never said the words I quit, out loud anyway. And now Yuta taps to the Scorpion Deathlock here in the Fright Night Tornado Tag. Not much else to say here, bro. I mean, it's Wheeler Useless and Charisma Vacuum, Danny Garcia in the opening match.
I'm getting tired of this Wheeler Yuta disrespect.
Wheeler Useless, bro. We got to start using Cornette terminology here.
It's fucking terrible, bro. This guy is the most over heel in the entire company.
Fuck you, Yuta.
Most over heel in the company. What is with this disrespect? Have you noticed that low key we're getting Orange Cassidy opening the shows again?
Ah, yes. Tony Khan's favorite fall tradition, man. Orange Cassidy opening a Dynamite.
Here we go. We'll keep tabs on it for next week and see if it happens again. But this match was fine, man. This match was fun. You know, one of those things where it is what it is. what else did you expect? You know what I'm saying? Orange Cassidy match, Yuta, Danny Garcia. I mean, say what you want about these guys, but they can all wrestle. It's just it's the lack of care we have for them in between, before and after their matches. That's all.
Yeah, I'm over this Death Rider shit. I'm over Darby and Mox. I don't care. Like, I swear to God, if you guys missed this match and tuned in late, you missed nothing. It's basically the same thing every week.
Yeah.
Well, that's all it is. Hook. He was shown arriving in the arena earlier, and there were guys backstage, and you saw people dressed as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. A callback to a few years ago on Dynamite where Hangman dressed as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man when he was feuding with the Elite. And then there were other costumes about. There was a guy in a chicken costume and a guy dressed as Bacon. And there was a guy dressed as... who else was out there, bro? There was another one.
I forget. Was that Bacon? I don't know what the fuck that big throw-over rug was.
Yeah, it looked like Bacon, yeah.
We had like the Chick-fil-A cow out there or something.
Yeah, the cow, the Chick-fil-A cow was out there. Yeah.
It's little shit like that.
So yeah, all these guys are hanging out backstage, and he said obviously he's the underdog tonight in the Fatal 4-Way in the main event, as he'll be there with decorated veterans, but he wouldn't want it any other way. Hook said he'll be doing his best that Samoa Joe doesn't win tonight, as he decided to show the world who he really is, someone Hook already knew. You see, they built it right there with the dialogue, bro. I don't understand why they went with Samoa Joe for the World Championship when Hook was already alluding to doing whatever he needs to do so that Samoa Joe doesn't win tonight, because he showed the world exactly who he is, someone Hook already knew who Samoa Joe was. It's right there. It was right there, and they opted not to go with it, dude.
There you go, man.
This company, man, I tell you, they do things as backwards as possible, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Renee Paquette's backstage with Don Callis to talk about his family summit later in the evening. Callis said tonight he'll show his family has never been stronger until he welcomed in the Young Bucks, saying it's criminal what this company has done to them. Callis tells them to think about having a family to have their back, and told a production jobber backstage to cue the entrance he had arranged for them. So Don Callis paid for the Young Bucks to have a real entrance here. They should be having that already, man. It's probably in their fucking multi-million-dollar contracts.
No. They're not EVPs, and nobody's giving them special treatment anymore.
All right. Nope. The Bucks walked by the same costume guys from earlier in the segment with Hook. And the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was there. They looked at him because obviously it's a throwback to Page a few years ago. So they were wondering what's going on. Is that Adam Page in there? So Renee handed the mic to Callis to give a huge over-the-top intro here, calling them one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and brought up them being former friends of the rat bastard, Kenny Omega. It was pyro, and the Bucks seemed pretty pleased with their intro. He's making it... a nice package here to join the Don Callis family, as if the Don Callis family needs any more members, bro. You want to see the Young Bucks in the Callis family?
No.
I
want to see less people in the Don Callis family.
Yes. Now, this was the Bucks, FTR, Jet Speed, and Jurassic Express, who won $500,000 at the pay-per-view and have opted to do nothing with the $500,000. I would have loved some vignettes, Lucha Underground style, with Luchasaurus going to Joseph A. Bank or fucking some men's designer store to buy some fancy clothing. And maybe Jack Perry going to a fucking Bass Pro Shop and buying himself a new knife holder. Something. Have fun with it, man. What's the deal with these matches? And you give money away and then you do nothing with the money. Follow up.
Yeah, it's true. They should. I mean, I guess they're putting it into savings and into their investment bonds, sir.
I guess maybe Jurassic Express is funding the next Jurassic Park movie. I don't know what's going on. Or maybe he's trying to buy an apology from Phil Brooks again. I don't know.
That's something, man.
Maybe. Anyway, this was a Fatal 4-Way. Winner of this match gets the World Tag Team title match at Full Gear against Brody King and Bandito. This was good. This was good. You got FTR, Jurassic Express, who I have exclaimed I am very fond of. No matter how you want to look at Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, I think the team is great. I love them. It's just like, you want to restore the feeling, and we are so desperately trying to find something that we resonate with from the olden days here. It's Jurassic Express. I like them. I think they're a great team. I think they add a lot of depth to the tag team division, and they are very good together. And then you got the Young Bucks and then Jet Speed. So this was very good. I was expecting the Young Bucks to win this, Jesse. I did not expect who we got to win this match. FTR actually beats the Bucks, Jet Speed, and Jurassic Express, and now they earn the right to wrestle Brodito at Full Gear. Now, the Bucks and FTR, they were in there. They had shoulder tackles back and forth before opting to pose for the fans. Stokely ordered the broke Bucks to get it together as Perry hit an assisted Hurricanrana on Bailey off the apron. Perry launched off Luchasaurus' back with a huge destroyer on Nick. Then they teased their finish, which I love, the countdown to extension on Matt. Harwood made the save. Knight charged in, ate a huge Luchasaurus headbutt. Perry wanted the Doomsday device off the top rope, but Bailey placed him on his shoulders on the apron. Knight countered Luchasaurus into a DDT and then dropkicked Perry off of Bailey's shoulders, causing Jack Perry to backflip onto a pile of guys on the outside. So Jet Speed hits double dives at the same time. Luchasaurus kicked out of a frog splash from Kevin Knight. Bucks returned to deliver a super kick party to Luchasaurus, and Perry suffered one as well. But Bailey, who put up a fight, had the same fate, and he ate a super kick party. Now, I thought this was it. I thought this was kind of leaning towards the Young Bucks winning. But the FTR guys, they got in there, and they were clobbered with super kicks. And the Bucks hit the shatter machine on FTR. And I thought that was legitimately it. I thought they won the match there. But Kevin Knight, he was kicked with one last super kick, and he ate a BTE trigger. He kicked out. TK Driver was cut off by Luchasaurus, and he sent the Bucks to the outside where he hit a moonsault onto Matt, which is always impressive to see. You don't think Luchasaurus is able to do that, but he can. Bailey followed with a moonsault of his own. Back inside, Knight hit a UFO splash on Nick, but bounced up to allow FTR to hit a shatter machine for the win. That was really good stuff there, and FTR gets the Tag Team Championship title match at Full Gear. I was surprised by this, Jesse. I thought the Bucks were going to win, but it looks like, from what we got here, it looks like FTR and Brodito is the play. FTR has a realistic chance and opportunity to win those Tag Team Championships from Brodito. And then at World's End, I don't mind a short title reign as long as it makes sense. Copeland and Christian probably come back by then. Tag team title match at World's End. FTR drops the belts to Cope and Christian. We go into 2026 with Cope and Christian as the tag team champions. Probably Cope's last year as a pro wrestler, which I do believe is his last year as an AEW superstar as well. And then we start building towards the Young Bucks versus Cope and Christian for the tag team titles. I think that's the way.
So here's the thing. We know that eventually the Young Bucks have to win the tag team titles. It is literally the end of their story arc right now. So if you crown new tag team champions, you're either telling us that they are going to be very short transitional champions, or the storyline with the Bucks is going to go on for much longer than we anticipated. And it's already going on for a little while now. So I don't know if FTR is going to win, or if they do win, are we looking at a short title reign just so we can get to the Young Bucks versus FTR for the world titles? I mean, so I'm not sure which route they're going here, but as long as they have this Young Bucks storyline going on, we're all waiting for them to actually win the title so then they can get their respect back, so they can get their normal entrance back and everything like that. So not quite sure what their goal is at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, FTR doesn't need the tag team championships to wrap up that story with Cope and Christian. They don't. It's only going to add more value to the match, but it's not needed. Now, you could easily go with the Young Bucks and do what Jesse had requested, because if it goes on any longer, it's going to really be long in the tooth at that point. How many more money matches can we see? How much more begging can they do for Tony Khan to give them money matches, and then they lose, and then they rinse and repeat the same thing? They're broke, and they spend the money, and they get more money and spend it again. Like, it's running dry right now, where the gag was funny at first and entertaining at first, and now it's like, all right, bro, we've seen this enough. I think everybody's kind of over the money matches. They don't make sense. They do nothing with them. So if they wanted to have Brodito beat FTR, which is a very real possibility because we know Tony Khan loves them and they have been great together, that's something that could realistically happen, and we can just go Young Bucks and Brodito, have the Young Bucks beat Brodito at World's End, also do Cope and Christian versus FTR at World's End and give them their win back, or give them the win in the series, I guess, in the feud, because FTR lost that the last pay-per-view they wrestled at All Out. Get revenge for Beth, and then they put FTR away, and then the Bucks are the champions going into the new year, and then they meet Cope and Christian. So they could go the other way. They don't necessarily have to give the titles to FTR to drop to Cope and Christian and then go to the Young Bucks. I would rather them wrap up the Young Bucks stuff, give them the tag team championships, they get their respect back, and they're millionaires again, and they have all the gold, and then go wrestle Cope and Christian. I think that's the way there, honestly.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. You know, it's and also something else we need to consider too. And I just thought about this is the fate of Brodito after they drop those tag team titles. Do they continue on with this makeshift tag team, or do you break them up, have Bandito go, do his ROH thing, and we finally move Brody King to the world title picture?
Yeah, I think that's also something that they really need to heavily consider. Now, I wouldn't mind them, like the tag team division right now is as strong as it's been in like 3 or 4 years right now. So if you want to eliminate one team and do the stereotypical thing, but in this case it would make sense, Brody King going heel, Bandito being the baby face, we get a match out of it with those guys, maybe for the Ring of Honor World Championship or not. And Brody's a dominating heel, and he goes on to the main event scene. I think that's really what you've already positioned him to be more valuable now than any other point in his AEW run. So if you want to turn him heel, next year is the play to make him a main event guy. Enough is enough, and stop fucking just dilly-dallying there and get him to where he needs to be. I think that's the move too.
Yeah, and make it an amicable split. Make it a, hey, high five, we'll hook up later or some shit. Do a split. And it's always something that you can revisit on a different level. Maybe we get a Brody King heel turn, and then, down the road, maybe a year from now, some shit like that, he comes up with a faction, and then at a big time spot in a main event at a pay-per-view, something like that, somebody comes out in the mask to help him come out with a win. Guess what? Fucking Bandito. Like, oh shit, I forgot they were fucking homies, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
They can always revisit that shit down the road. So it doesn't have to be we're mad at each other split. Like, hey, you know what? We had a run, bro. I get up with you next time we're out of here.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Turning Brody heel, I don't know if they would want to do that. He's very much over with the audience, and the audience really has kind of gravitated to him. I actually like that idea that you brought up. It could be an amicable split. Like, you go your way, I go my way. We did our thing. We were great together. Let's kill it individually. I got your back. You got mine. The friendship's still there. You could always do a mixture of things, whether they want to do a random tag team on one night or team together in a 6-man or something like that. Yeah, I think that's as long as you leave the options open. I think that's good. Yeah. Give yourself more options, and then you always got the heel turn in the back pocket for another storyline or something else. And I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I would definitely do it that way. And Brody King works either way, heel or babyface, tweener. He literally works any way you want to fucking play this guy. He kills every. This is what befuddles me about what they're doing with him right now, because he is so goddamn versatile. He's so good in the ring, and he's so over. He is way more than just a tag team champion. And don't get me wrong, they're having a decent run with the tag titles, but you're looking at a world champion right now at a time when you're hurting for main event guys. Brody King is your guy. Heel, babyface. He can be a tweener like a Lashley, something like that. It doesn't matter where you fucking need him. Wherever you're light, wherever you're soft at, insert a Brody King into that role, and he fucking works either way, bro.
Yeah, I like that. Let's try and do that. That should be one of the lists on the list of things to do for 2026. We got a vignette that aired with Hangman Adam Page talking about Samoa Joe's turn on him. Hangman was on the show. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Don Callis and the Don Callis Family Summit. He's out there with Rocky Romero, El Clon, Kyle Fletcher, Okada, Josh Alexander, Mark Davis, Lance Archer. Jesse may even be a part of the Don Callis family. He wasn't out there, though.
I'm in it.
Danielson said Takeshita was not there. Callis introduced the segment and asked Rocky Romero to speak first. Romero says they are the largest and most dominant faction in pro wrestling. He said not everyone could be there due to injuries or travel issues. He revealed, yes, Andrade has travel issues, bro. Where is Andrade?
Yeah, there's some travel issues, all right.
He is grounded in Stamford, Connecticut, man, with no departure time. So
they should. And I'm sorry to cut you, but you were talking about having some fun with it and shit like that. Everybody that watches pro wrestling knows about the situation with Andrade. Just throw some shade at it.
Yeah.
Just bring it up, low key. Were we missing somebody? No. We can't mention that guy. No. Just have some fun with it. Yeah, it'd be fun, man.
Yeah, or something that kind of plays into it, like, yeah, not everybody's here. Travel issues. A couple of people are ill. One guy went on a 90-day vacation or something like that.
Yeah. Someone's got a 1-year vacation.
365-day vacation, man. He's centered himself in Tijuana.
Just have some fun, man.
Anyway, apparently Rocky Romero revealed a painting of the Don Callis family. Don Callis looking very muscular and shirtless in this painting. Alexander, there's always some sexual innuendos with Don Callis. It's like weird,
Pause, bro. What the fuck?
Ridiculous. Alexander threw a video package of the Don Callis family highlights on the big screen. Fletcher stood up and he read a vow out loud that he was committed to protecting the secrets of the family and aid a brother in distress, no matter the risk. Takeshita interrupted. Danielson said he looked irked. Takeshita entered and Callis approached and said, "You made it." Okada stood up and walked over to Takeshita. Takeshita stared him down. Callis told Takeshita he named him the Alpha, but now they're an entire family of alphas. He says it's to be expected and desired to have some push and pull from within, but they are ultimately a family. Callis says, how does the Don Callis family succeed? We succeed by listening to what I want. He says he decides what happens. He told Takeshita he needs him to put his ego aside and shake Okada's hand. Okada nodded and stared down Takeshita. He wasn't happy about it. He didn't flinch. Callis says this is about his honor as a wrestler and a member of the family. He asked him to shake Okada's hand for him. So Takeshita put out his hand for a handshake. Okada reached towards his hand, making a motion that he was going to shake his hand, but then he lifted his hand and gave Takeshita the middle finger. A double bird. Okada laughed. Fletcher, Romero, El Clon. They told Takeshita to stay in place and not react. Held him back. Callis insisted that they can work together like a family, and by God they will, this Saturday on Collision in a tag team match, which we now know is against Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, who are the Acclaimed, but not really going by the name The Acclaimed.
Not The Acclaimed.
No. I enjoyed this. We talked about this earlier at the top of the live stream tonight, and I thought this was good. They finally progressed after last week, where we got basically Takeshita coming out, and we got some nasty stares, and that was it, Jesse. We got Takeshita staring at Okada, and Okada staring at Takeshita, and no words thrown, and that's the way they went off the air. Literally no cliffhanger, no explanation for anything, no dialogue, no reason to care. At least here we got some dialogue, and Don Callis was very good at kind of navigating this entire situation. And I'm actually very excited to see a match between these two. And if they can build upon this, depending on what happens on Saturday, I mean, if they want to put this on Full Gear's card, man, it will be the match of the night. It could be match of the year for AEW if I have anything to say about it. But this was great. I thought this was fun.
Bro, let me tell you something, man. I would not produce this match for a long time. What is the rush? What is the rush? the further you get into it, then the sooner you have to do it. Then once you do it, then it's done. They're on the same team. There's tension. Just let there be tension. Why do we have to jump to something right away? Let it build. This can go on to 2026 as far as I'm concerned. There is no rush to get to this match because we want to see it. We know it'll be great. And the longer you hold off to giving it to us, then the better the match will be. What is the hurry?
So you're asking AEW to take basically two guys who aren't fluent in English to build tension in different ways for several weeks until next year to do the match next year.
Yeah, man.
How exactly do you expect them to do that?
The Don Callis family. You have like 42 people to help carry this fucking feud on. You don't need the second you break Takeshita away from the Don Callis family, then that's pretty much it. You got to give us the match at that point. But he's still in the family. That tension can just stay and can just be sprinkled onto every little thing that the Don Callis family actually does do in their other feuds. He doesn't have to. Okay, they're feuding. Okay, there's tension. Okay, just break them up. Takeshita's babyface have the match. Now what?
Well, I feel like they're going to take this into the Continental Classic, and this will be the final of the Continental Classic at World's End. I think it'll be Takeshita and Okada. Because if they do the match at Full Gear, I think you're correct. I think if they do the match at Full Gear, Takeshi's going to have to beat Okada because he's the IWGP champion. You don't want the IWGP World Champion to lose in a one-on-one match when his title's not going to be on the line. That's just weird. You don't do that. So you can't have Okada beat him because he just won the belt and he hasn't made one singular defense yet. So that would be fucking stupid. And I don't know if New Japan would really appreciate that. So that reason and that reason alone, you're not going to do that match at Full Gear. And that's why you wait till the Continental Classic to do it, where at least they maybe will have wrestled once in the tournament and then again in the final. And you can have him and Okada, Takeshita and Okada, go undefeated in their blocks if you wanted to, you know?
Let me tell you what I would do, bro. And peep this out for a minute. When is on World's End? December?
The last Saturday of December, yeah.
So you don't want to beat the IWGP champion.
No.
And Tony Khan does not want to beat Okada.
No.
You want to know what I would do? I would let this feud go on and on and on until New Japan is ready to take the title off of Takeshita. And when that does happen, you want to know why it happened? Because fucking Okada showed back up in New Japan and cost Takeshita the IWGP championship. And then bring that feud back to AEW.
That could also work too. That's what I would do. So I would let this shit linger until it is time to take that title off of him. And then have Okada be an intricate reason as to why it happened. And then you ignite that shit. Then you bring it home. Yeah, you know, I actually like that a lot. I like the fact that you maybe leave Takeshita out of the tournament because as the IWGP champion, if he's still the champion going into the tournament, he's going to have to suffer a loss. Other than that, he's going to have to go undefeated if he's going to have to win the whole fucking thing if that's the case. So if you want Okada, which I hope to God is not the case. I mean, Okada winning back-to-back years, that would be fucking stupid, man. That would be boring. I don't know what you do there, but Okada costing Takeshita the IWGP championship at Wrestle Kingdom to make a new star there, which it may be the reason why they crowned him now. We don't know. So he loses the championship at Wrestle Kingdom in January, on the 4th of January, due to Okada. And then you do the match for the Unified Championship at Revolution. And you do that match there, and you have Takeshita go over. I like that. Actually, I think that's a good idea.
That'd be awesome, bro. That's Okada's big return to New Japan.
After promising Don Callis that everything's all right, he makes the flight solely to go fuck him over. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine he makes the flight over to Japan after telling Don Callis that everything's cool, you can trust me? He makes the flight over to Japan to show up randomly in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom to fuck Takeshita over. Can you believe that?
That's fucking hate. Takeshita turns around. Takeshita turns around, finds Okada just sitting there flipping him off before he gives him a fucking. That is fucking hate. Oh, I love it, man. Somebody please get that to Tony Khan.
Or I don't know, go tit for tat, I guess. You want to have Takeshita fuck Okada over in the Continental Classic. Fine. I do that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Man,
yeah, I'm looking forward to that when it happens. But yeah, they got something here. This was a good segment. Don't bust your load in fucking 3 weeks at Full Gear.
Yeah.
Let's play this out. They got something going here after this week. Have some fun with it. Be creative with it. You got a whole family of guys there. You got Don Callis, who's a great promo. So let's do it. Let's build upon it. Give it a couple of months and actually put some long-term vision into this thing. Really.
Yes, I agree.
Start of hour 2 here. We got a vignette on Olympia, who Excalibur called one of the most promising, powerful wrestlers in CMLL. It showed her win on Collision and executing power moves. She said she wanted to reclaim what belongs to Amazonians. She's wrestling Mercedes Moné on Collision for the CMLL Women's Championship.
I thought that was Sexy Star.
Sexy Star is not that muscular, I don't think.
No, nowhere near it, but it was the mask, though.
Yeah.
It was the mask.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. We got Olympia. Who? Yeah, I was asking the same thing. But apparently they like the way she looks, so she's on national television Saturday. Kyle O'Reilly, Jon Moxley, again. Oh, man. Who asked for this match again, bro? Probably Jon Moxley.
Yeah, rematch city.
Anyway, I'm not going over this because we didn't go over it last week because it was fucking boring. But after the break here, Moxley was in control. O'Reilly countered into an ankle lock. Moxley escaped to ringside. O'Reilly gave Moxley an arm bar at ringside. Now, Marina distracted O'Reilly, but O'Reilly countered a Mox move at ringside with a guillotine, and the referee counted them both out. Now, I was looking forward to seeing what they would do in the ending here, because if you guys remember last week, if anybody watched, Moxley inadvertently, or actually, I would say not inadvertently, but he was very purposely punching the referee last week and caused himself to get disqualified. So he caused a DQ by blatantly hitting the referee because he was afraid that he was going to tap out to Kyle O'Reilly. So he did the cowardly thing, and he got out of that predicament by causing the ending of a match by hitting the referee. So I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do here if they did more of the same and show Jon Moxley's cowardice to Kyle O'Reilly here by not wanting to tap or lose to O'Reilly. So they both got counted out. Now, after the double count out, the bell rings. Aubrey Edwards is the referee here. Shafir attacked Aubrey. Some fans cheered. Moxley then gave O'Reilly a running uppercut. Shafir grabbed the chair. The rest of the conglomeration ran out. Yuta and Garcia helped Moxley. Darby ran out with a skateboard in hand with Cassidy and Mark Briscoe. So all of the Death Riders fled around ringside. Darby asked why they were running. He says they should settle it now. He says they've both suffered over the last year, and it's time Moxley suffers more. Briscoe said the Death Riders are fake-ass tough guys because they like to skedaddle, he said. Garcia and Claudio held Shafir back. Briscoe told Cassidy to tell everyone what the plan was that we came up with. Cassidy, in the most nonchalant way, said, blood and guts. He then dropped the microphone. Excalibur and Danielson sold blood and guts. Moxley acted very concerned over the announcement of blood and guts. It will be the Death Riders versus the conglomeration and Darby Allin. Bro, as far as from what I see, Marina is the only one who has balls in the Death Riders, man. She's afraid of no one and nothing. Everybody else ran away.
Yeah, which is going to play into my comments about what happens with her later in this show. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. She is the toughest SOB in that faction, man.
You know, we've been pointing to the end of the Death Riders for many, many, many months now, and when it's going to happen. You know, we talked about this on TNT last night. Jason believes that the perfect opportunity to end the Death Riders would be Jon Moxley tapping out to Darby Allin inside of Blood and Guts, the way that he did at Wrestle Dream, and the Death Riders then turn on Jon Moxley there because he's not really the leader that he promised them that he would be. He lost the World Championship. He lost to Darby Allin. He took the cheap way out against Kyle O'Reilly last week. Maybe he taps out and loses the match for the Death Riders in 2 weeks on November 12th, that blood and guts, costing them the match. And then they kick him out of the group. And the Death Riders is just finished at that point. Everybody goes on to do their own thing. I don't think that's the way it should. I just can't see Jon Moxley and or Tony Khan ending the Death Riders. For some reason, they think it's working. For some reason, they think it makes better television. And to me, and I know you, Jesse, it is one of the absolute low points of the show every single week. I care about nothing these guys do, maybe outside Pac, because he's great.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if I would end the Death Riders as a group. Don't get me wrong, this version of it has to fucking go. I would kick Moxley out and maybe come in with a fresh leader. And maybe
but who would that be though?
That's the whole thing. It needs to be someone that can bring something interesting to it and have it go forward. You know, the lateral move would be just have Pac be the leader, but I don't think that's enough. I don't know. We have to sit and round table that shit. But Brody King would be an option. He doesn't have a faction anymore. He used to have, he should have had one on his own. They disemboweled it because Malachi left. But I don't know. I would just because it can be fine. It can be serviceable. It doesn't need to be in the main event scene anymore. We need to start right there. It needs to be like a mid-card faction with a new leader, and it might have some fresh legs to it. But Moxley does need to go out of it. Go do something else. I don't know what, but
so that would do what? Theoretically turn Jon Moxley back into being a babyface?
Take him off TV for a while, then come back fresh and figure it out from there.
All right. We'll see. Should be the end of the Death Riders, this current version anyway, with Jon Moxley as the leader. But asking Tony to do that after we had suffered through 10 months of this garbage, that's a long shot. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. Mercedes and Statlander, they were brawling in the back after we got back from the commercial break. They were brawling to ringside. Athena joins in the fun here and yanks Statlander off the ring apron and threw her into the ringside steps. Apparently, she helped Mercedes out because they're tag team partners now for the tag team title tournament. Mercedes and Athena double team Stat. Mercedes then put Stat in the Money Maker. And all of a sudden, at that point, Willow and Harley Cameron ran out for the save. Excalibur said Mercedes and Athena will face Willow and Harley next week on Dynamite in the first round match of the women's tag team title tournament. Now, if they're smart, Jesse, we talked about this last week. We talked about this last week and the fact that this tournament has basically set up the most successful women in the tournament after the most successful women in the division run the division and ran the division all year. The titles were supposed to give hope and promise and TV time and spotlight to all the women that they've kind of neglected because they wanted to push Tony and Mercedes all year. And they fed the entire division to Tony and Mercedes all year. Jason feels like the title, we talked about this on TNT last night, he feels like the title should go to already established names to build credibility and legitimacy for those titles. Now, you could certainly look at that, and he has a very valid point because that's exactly what they did with Hangman Page in year one. But that was year one, with Chris Jericho in year one, because they had Jericho beat Hangman in year one for the World Championship. But like I said, that is in year one. The company was a relative unknown. We're now in year 6. Everybody should be already built and established on this show, but AEW does such a poor job of building and establishing so many names, and they don't really mean anything. They're just there. They get matches on TV and segments on TV, and it leads to nothing. And then they're buried on fucking Collision in front of 185,000 people on a Saturday night. They need to do better. I understand putting the titles on established talent is certainly a great way to establish the titles, but like if you wanted to put the titles on Jamie Hayter, who's an established female in this division, and Queen Aminata, or you want to put the titles on Willow and Harley, who Willow is already an established talent in this division. That's, to me, the way to go. Putting it on Mercedes and having people think Mercedes is going to get a 14th title here, and Athena and Toni Storm and Mina, and we're going to go right back to Toni holding gold after she just lost the Women's World Championship. Bro, that's a mistake. You got to take the other females that you've built who haven't gotten the spotlight that they deserve, like Willow and Harley and fucking Jamie Hayter, bro. Those are notable names that absolutely could bring credibility to those titles. Why do we need to automatically go to established talent for the titles? That's the point I was trying to make last night, but I get Jason's point. To me, I don't think that way. We are well beyond that. I don't know how you feel.
No, I think I do agree. Because these titles it should be the perfect opportunity to give some shine to some women who have been there and have been grinding away, but we all know is nowhere near winning a women's title, a singles title. This is the perfect opportunity to give them some shine. So I'm okay with that. But at the same time, we can get there. I mean, who's the first champions? I mean, sure, that's a thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, we can move on to crown some women who have not had any singles title opportunities and make them tag team champion. You know what I'm saying? This is not the end all be all just because you're not the first. We can eventually get there. But I do like that point. This is the best opportunity for some women who have been there grinding, and we all know it's not necessarily world championship material for them. So.
Now, do you see Willow and Harley standing a chance against Mercedes and Athena next week? Because they came out here for the save. Do you think there's a chance that they actually go to the finals here?
Not a chance in hell. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But I want to point out something real quick. Yeah. This guy, you fucking guys in the chat with these weird ass names. Why are you here? Brought up something that is a very fucking good idea with this Death Rider situation. I would be hard pressed to not follow through with this one, but kick Jon Moxley out of the Death Riders, have Pac and Claudio cut some promos for a few weeks insinuating that they have a new Death Rider leader coming in, and at the end of the build, at the end of the teasing and the promos and everything else, at the end of all that shit, bringing Karrion Kross to lead the Death Riders.
That could work.
I think that's a great fucking idea. I think that's a really, really fucking good idea. That'd be a great way.
He might actually make them interesting.
Yeah, man, bring them in. That gives them a fresh look. That gives them a fresh direction. He can cut a fucking promo. And it gives him some direction when he comes into AEW, as opposed to, hey, we got Cross. Now what? Well, now we're gonna put him in a match with Orange Cassidy. It gives him something to do, and he fits that mold of the Death Riders to cut those dark, just demonic fucking style promos. I like that. I would definitely roll with bringing Karrion Kross in to be the new leader of the Death Riders for sure.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy, man. That's a very good idea.
And we'll see if Tony Khan has the balls to do that, or if Jon Moxley is ready to give that up.
Yeah, true.
And give someone else some shine there. I don't know. We'll see.
True. That'd be great. Or have Kross come in and kick Moxley out himself.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I know Kross is still doing his thing on the indies. Right now he's killing it. He's got a couple of appearances this month. He's going to be at that big event expo coming up on November 15th. So he's got some things. Maybe we'll see that play out towards the end of the year. Maybe World's End. Who knows?
That'd be great, man. That'd be great.
So yeah, Mercedes and Athena, they were chased away by Willow and Harley Cameron. So that's the match next week for the quarterfinal of the women's tag team title tournament. Excalibur plug Bandito versus Mascara Sagrada on Saturday's Collision for the Ring of Honor world title. So if you guys don't know who Mascara Sagrada is, he actually wrestled in that three-way match against Okada and Takeshita at All Out, which was probably one of the best matches of the night there. So he's getting a match against Bandito. And then they aired a Bandito segment that quickly followed this one. He drove with his grandmother to San Antonio to watch him wrestle for the first time in person. She commented in Spanish on how thrilling it was and how proud she was of Bandito. A very wholesome moment here, bro, with his abuela. You know?
Good for him.
Good for him. Bandito's great.
Yep.
Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart, and little Skye Blue. She needed the money. Oh! Skye Blue, bro. I'm actually surprised by this outcome, bro. I didn't expect Skye Blue and Julia Hart to win here. I didn't. I don't know how you felt. I thought Jamie Hayter and Aminata had it on lock, but man, they went with the upset here. How do you feel about that?
I'm not shocked. I mean, they put a lot of stock into these women, man. I mean, they're a tag team. They're a trio. I mean, they cannot transform. I guess I mean, who fucking knows? But they put a lot of stock in them, so I'm not shocked by this at all. Queen Aminata, and Jamie Hayter, they just thrown together. This is an actual tag team. So I mean, it kind of makes sense actually.
It should be poor Jamie Hayter. She needs the money. Oh, yeah, she needs something here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. She can't buy a fucking ounce of momentum here, man. It's crazy. But this wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. It wasn't bad, but we got Queen Aminata. I tell you, man, she does that chocolate kisses move, bro. I mean, just stop, please. Like we know why you're doing it, and it don't even look impactful. It don't even look like it hurts, bro. It looks more pleasurable and fucking offensively intimidating for a wrestling move.
She was doing it first.
I don't know, man. Just stop. We know why you're doing it. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to work the same. It don't even look impactful. Honestly, I just find it to be cringy. I don't know how anybody else looks at it, but that's the way I don't like it. No.
But she was doing it first.
Was she?
Yes, by far.
Okay.
By far.
Okay, you would know. You watch that show. I don't. We got some fast tags here from Hayter and Aminata, who hit double suplex on Julia and Skye Blue. And then they kind of cut the ring off from them. Hayter delivered a Saito suplex for a near fall blind tag by Julia, who popped Hayter with a cheap shot, allowing a double flapjack to connect. Hayter was worked over into the commercial break. We come back from the commercial, and Julia Hart kind of studying The Undertaker there, bro, with the top rope walk and the clothesline down. What is she doing over there?
Hey, man, she's the female phenom, brother.
It's crazy. Listen, man, she's taking inspiration from one of the greatest of all time.
Yes, why not?
Can't be wrong. Hayter was able to counter a double suplex into one of her own. Aminata made a hot tag, ran wild with kicks in the corner, one in the corner, and then kicking right through Skye Blue's face. Hayter tagged back in with a missile dropkick, slow lighting lariat, and Julia made the save as Jamie went for a cover. So all four women are in there throwing blows until Julia and Skye Blue get dropped with stereo Germans. Hart and Blue answer with double super kicks, but Hayter and Aminata respond with double lariats, and all four women are down. So Skye Blue and Queen Aminata are throwing forearms at each other, and then it switches to slaps, one after another. Hayter and Julia spill to the outside, and apparently Tekla, Jesse. She was on the outside, Tekla, underneath the ring. Apparently, we were tipped off because there was blonde hair underneath the ring, and nobody knew who it was. And then Tekla blindsided Hayter with a spear on the outside behind the referee's back. Aminata was planted with an assisted spinning slam, with Skye Blue getting the pin on Queen Aminata. So I'm glad we got a replay of Tekla's attack because we did not see it live. We only saw it on the replay. So thank God for that. I mean, AEW's production they do this way too often, man. We miss some key moments of this shit. And she was there, Tekla, with the rest of the Triangle of Madness at the ramp. Skye Blue and Julia Hart pointed at the women's tag team titles. They now meet the winner of Willow, Harley, Mercedes, and Athena. So there you go.
Well, if you want to look at it at face value, why would the cameraman be focused on people on the outside? He's focused on stuff in the ring. Didn't know someone was coming from under the ring, but we got a replay of it. Maybe, I guess.
That's why those production meetings are key, bro.
Production meetings, bro.
Where are they? I don't know. Do they even happen? Do they exist in AEW? Nobody knows.
Sometimes
when they want. When there's a negative report out there that there's no production meetings, and then the next week we get a report, oh yeah, they're there. We have production meetings every week. Sure.
Sometimes,
Sure thing. Tony Schiavone, this fucking geek was dressed as the Phantom of the Opera.
Ah, yes.
Bryan Danielson was dressed as Hechicero. Did you see that?
No, I just saw he had a mask.
Yeah, he was dressed as Hechicero. He was Hechicero. He was the magician of Lucha Libre, bro.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So Schiavone was dressed as the Phantom of the Opera. Backstage, he's with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
Yes.
Who apparently is injured. Now,
didn't know that.
No, well, she took a nasty spill and reached for her arm last week in that fatal 8-woman four-way match. So Ford said she tore her UCL and is out indefinitely. Those titles, she says, were their destiny, and they're going to make every woman feel the same pain she's in right now because that's what everybody deserves. And then Megan Bayne spoke words. Again. And honestly, Jesse, I would prefer her not to speak and remain in silence.
Like I said before. She spoke, and immediately I found out why she was not speaking before. Okay, let's just go back to where it was before, where she didn't speak.
I think Megan Bayne needs to go back to being a mime, bro. Honestly,
yeah,
she's a beautiful woman, but no, we don't. Bro, she sounded like she was reading a script handed to her by Shawn Michaels on a very overproduced version of NXT. That's what she sounded like.
It's very bad. Tekla can keep speaking.
Yes, I love Tekla.
He's pretty good. She's pretty good.
Chat. Tekla. Yes, we love Tekla.
Megan Bayne, no. Okay, we get it. We get it. You were right. We're sorry. Just go back to where it was.
Now, to be fair, I didn't hear last week's abomination of a promo or whenever it was. This week I heard Chad is saying it was better this week, Jesse, was it?
Yes, it was better this week.
Okay. I trust you.
Keep that in mind. This, what you saw, this was better than last time.
Man. JD, who's worse, Jade Cargill or Megan Bayne? I don't know, man. But Jade Cargill sounds very scripted and very produced, man. It's not natural. Hopefully that heel turn changes things over there, but they're both equally bad. Let's leave it at that.
It just may be situational, but they both need serious help. Yeah.
So apparently, here we are thinking that Bayne and Ford are not going to be in the tournament and that there's going to be a team that replaces them. But apparently, Jesse, Marina Shafir walks in and said, "Don't worry, I'm listening." Jon Moxley stands in between them and said, look at these two. Look at these two. Everybody better look out. So Shafir and Megan Bayne gave each other a fist pump. And now we have Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne in the tag team title tournament as a team.
Okay.
Now, why is this? Is there a reason why this happened? Do you know?
Why it's happening? I don't know. But I do not think this is a good idea.
No.
I do not think. Now, I mean, chemistry-wise and storyline-wise, I don't know. But look, you have Marina Shafir in a very good place for her character, for her gimmick in the Death Riders. And putting her in a tag team with Megan Bayne, you're going to need her to wrestle more. And like I said before, the last time they put Marina in the ring, she looked great because it was a short match and they just made sure they held her to things that she can do well, which is jiu-jitsu and MMA moves and things like that. And it was one match and she does not wrestle very often. You put her in a tag team with Megan Bayne, she's going to have to wrestle more often. And she is going to get extremely exposed, especially wrestling with someone as good as Megan Bayne is.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. I think you're going to ruin the gimmick work that you put into Marina Shafir. I think you need to let her be in that regard. I don't think this is a good pairing at all. I could be wrong. Maybe it works out. Maybe she got better. Maybe he'll find a way to bring out the things that she does best in a tag team, but I don't see it happening. I think this is a bad decision.
Well, you know, we were just talking about Jon Moxley potentially losing, and by his losing frequently, the Death Riders might get pissed off and kind of look at him as a failed leader and maybe boot him out of the group. How is it going to look if we want to play up that narrative, Jesse, if Marina Shafir goes into this tournament and loses?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
it's gonna be her losing. He's losing. We can't just singularly blame Moxley for losing, and the death row is being losing because of Moxley. Marina's going to go into this thing and obviously not win the tournament. So what are we going to do there?
So she's either going to lose in the tournament, or God forbid they're going to go on and win the tournament, and we're going to have to get her wrestling even more.
Yeah,
bro. As Megan Bayne is so Marina Shafir is as bad in the ring as Megan Bayne is good. Like the absolute polar opposite. Again, and this is no knock on her. I mean, look, not everybody's going to be great bell to bell. I think she has gotten better. I wouldn't say she's come a long way. I think she's gotten better, and they were pretty good at producing her matches so that she looks good. But putting her in a tag team with a wrestler like Megan Bayne is going to seriously expose her. I don't think it's a good move for her character.
903 Caleb. Yes, Yuta's been losing too. So I don't even think that narrative even fits. If they want to do it, they're all losers. So it's like
Yuta's been losing.
I mean, you're going to blame Moxley for losing, but everybody else has been losing around him too. You know? I don't know.
So which makes it even worse. So now if Yuta's already been losing, and now Moxie's losing, and then Marina's that's too many fucking. You can have one loser. That's fine. It's great.
Yeah, it would be right if Moxley was losing and everybody else was winning. That's not even the case.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So yeah, they're in the tournament. They got Anna Jay and Tay Mello. I'm assuming they beat Anna Jay and Tay Mello. They're only there to take a loss, and then they'll lose. Megan Bayne and Marina will lose to Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
Hopefully.
We'll see what happens there. But Penelope Ford, hopefully everything is all right there. I feel bad for her because she was looking forward to this. They built this up. They were a team for all these months, and now she's not even a part of the fucking tournament.
They had a good fucking shot at winning, man.
Yeah, maybe listen, I know things can happen, but more often than not, man, they do a lot of unnecessary shit that they don't need to do on weekly television. Can we just save that for the bigger moments, please, and just kind of take it easy week by week? And just get to where we need to go without killing each other on weekly television in front of fucking 1,500 people in fucking bumblefuck middle of nowhere. Seriously. Like, she doesn't deserve that. There's no reason for that to happen on a random Dynamite, honestly.
Yeah, they had a really, really good shot at being the inaugural champions. Penelope Ford has been with AEW since day fucking one.
Yeah.
And that gives them, and it also gives them a chance to put some gold around Megan Bayne's waist. That would have been a good call to be the first champion.
Yeah, that could have been, but hopefully she gets better, man. Prayers to her. Yep. Hologram reached out to me via DM. Apparently, our guy JB Comrade, brother, you are now unbenched. I don't know what had happened there. He was apparently a VIP. He doesn't know why he got benched to begin with. So, JB, if you're listening, you are now unbenched. I don't know if you might have to wait the 4 weeks to chat here, but you are now unbenched. So you could super chat and kind of mingle in the chat here. So we took care of that. And also Lori Lynch, who has been in the chat with us for many years. Her cat Gizmo isn't well, and she would like Jesse and I to shout out Gizmo and Lori. I wish you nothing but the best, Lori. I know what it is to care for the fur babies, and I know Jesse has. You have a dog, right?
We don't currently have one.
No?
We've had dogs for a while.
Jesse has had pets. Two big pet guys here. We feel your pain, and I wish you nothing but the best. Love, thoughts, and prayers there for little Gizmo. Hopefully, Absolutely. Gizmo and whatever he's dealing with pulls through.
Get well soon.
Yes.
And it's National Cat Day.
It is National Cat Day. It is. I have several here. So trying to find 3 Fosters, and I got 2 of my own over here. So
you got an orange one? Send me an orange one.
We gave 2 orange boys away. I was very sad all day yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. My little boy Bruce and my little boy Eddie. We named them after Batman characters. Bruce Wayne, obviously, and then Edward Nigma.
There you go.
The Riddler. Yeah.
Enigma.
Yes. Samoa Joe, Hook, Ricochet, and Bobby Lashley. AEW World Title, #1 contendership at Full Gear against Adam Page on the line here. This was very good. I enjoyed this. This was a main event that showed a sense of urgency, even though it was terribly predictable. I don't know why he does this. Hook was clearly there to take a loss in some way, shape, or form, and that's exactly what happened. Samoa Joe is fantastic. He cuts a great promo. He's fucking great in the ring. He's just as legitimate comes. Hook, he needs something, man. I don't know what he's doing. Apparently they got him with Eddie Kingston now on Collision. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. His theme music, I know why he has his theme music. It's awful. I listened to it today, man. I know he wants it. I know it's his thing, but it is genuinely terrible. For a wrestling theme, it's awful.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, I don't know about the song itself. Maybe there's nothing wrong with the song itself, but for a wrestler's entrance theme, that's not it.
No. Ricochet showed up here tonight. He's talented as fuck, but I mean, he's a loser. That's the way creative has kind of coined him. He's just a loser. And Bobby Lashley, this is somebody that we've advocated for to move away from the tag team scene and get into the main event scene. Which I don't know when that's going to be, but apparently it's not tonight. So we'll pick it up after the break here. Hook, he's fighting with Joe, and he hits a snap power slam with Hook just narrowly, and I mean narrowly, avoiding danger here because it looked like his neck was dangerously close to not being where it needed to be. He tucked his head just in the nick of time. So if you guys want to go back, and if you guys watched it, know what I'm talking about. It looked like it was a bad news thing waiting to happen there. So Ricochet
cleared. It just when he went over, as a matter of fact, his hair went and scraped the mat.
Yeah, that's how close it was. Yeah,
the ref went and checked on him, so it was close.
So Ricochet returns. He was on the outside. He tried to dive off the second rope, and Joe did his casual walk off before lighting Ricochet up with some jabs. Right as Joe was going for a big shot, Lashley pounced Ricochet from the ring, and we get Lashley and Joe. Now, they met last week in a trios match. Huge spine buster by Lashley on Joe, who caught a leaping Ricochet in with a dominator, but Hook broke the count. Hook tried a suplex. Lashley caught him, and he was sent into Joe with a clothesline. Hook sent Lashley to the floor, and again, it was Joe and Hook who hit a T-bone suplex. Hook briefly posed, and that allowed Ricochet to come back in. Ricochet clipped Lashley with a dive quickly, following to the other side with a Sasuke special on Samoa Joe. Shooting star press on Hook back in the ring, who kicked out at a 2. So Ricochet loaded up the spirit gun. Hook countered into Red Rum. Ricochet fought to his feet, collapsed. Joe ran in with a senton on them. Joe quickly placed Hook in the corner and wanted a muscle buster, but Lashley flew in with a spear on Joe right as he delivered the move. Lashley went for a cover. Ricochet flew in from off camera with a 450 splash. Everyone is down. Ricochet then went for vertigo on Hook, who got a roll-up for a 2 and sent Ricochet to the outside. Low-bridged Lashley. Ricochet cracked Lashley in the back with a chair, and he stalked Ricochet up the aisleway. This is what we talked about in the beginning at the top of the live stream. Lashley looked like a blithering fool here for abandoning the number 1 contender match to go chase Ricochet, and at that same time, Joe sank in the coquina clutch on Hook, and Hook tapped out. Lashley was too late making it back in the ring, and he had to watch Samoa Joe win the number 1 contendership here. And then he went to go chase Ricochet to the back again. Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata came to the ring to celebrate with Joe. Tony Schiavone joined them in the ring with the microphone, and he had this stupid Phantom of the Opera mask on. So he congratulated Joe and said it's now time to sign the contract for Full Gear against Adam Page. And then he announced the Friday Night Dynamite crew, who are these characters dressed up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, a cow, a chicken, a giant piece of bacon, and what was a bull? I think there was a bull. Wasn't there a bull?
I thought it was a cow, like the. Oh, you said the cow already.
Yeah, I think there was another one there. I think there was a bull. Chat, does anybody know if there was a bull just to kind of round it out here? I think there was a bull.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. Joe takes the contract, says he wants to ensure this is the safest place possible to sign this. So he had Hobbs and Shibata. By the way, the chicken could not make it into the ring through the ropes. And when he did, his head deflated. I don't know if anybody's seen that. His head was all mangled, and his head was deflated. So Joe had Hobbs and Shibata beat the shit out of all these geeks dressed in these costumes. 903 Club says there was no bull. Suplexus says there was a bull.
I'm pulling it up right now. I get it on my screen right now. I'm looking at the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'm looking at a chicken. I am looking at a bull.
Okay, there was a bull. Okay.
I'm looking at the bacon. So there's the chicken, there's the bull. So let's see who beats up who.
So basically the dairy aisle at Whole Foods. That's it. That's what's in the ring.
So there we go. There's the cow, there's the chicken, there's the bacon, the bull, and the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
All right, so the chicken had his head deflated in this melee here. Joe takes the contract. He wants to ensure this is the safest place possible. They beat these guys up, and then they leave the Marshmallow Man there to take the final shot because they think the Marshmallow Man is Adam Page, and they're not going to fall for these games because he dressed as the Marshmallow Man years ago when he was battling the Elite. I wish we could go back to those days. Those were the good days. Joe ripped the mask off. It wasn't Page, and it was some geek, some stagehand dressed as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So Joe punched him in the face, signed the contract. Joe then took the microphone and said Page isn't as creative as he used to be and apologizes for the carnage that just happened here. But standing in front of you is your next AEW World Champion. So Shivani, standing in the corner, he said it's official for Full Gear and said a toast for Joe is in order. So there's a bucket of what looked to be Michelob Light in the corner on ice. I don't know who drinks Michelob, but it's shit. Hobbs brought a bucket of beers into the ring, and Joe was waiting for the toast to be over until Shivani starts kind of glazing up Page. He said Page is the living embodiment of cowboy shit. And then Page's voice came over the microphone and said, "Long may he reign." Now, Shivani was actually Hangman Page himself, who punted Shibata and Hobbs, and Joe turned around to see Page staring at him wearing the Phantom of the Opera mask, and he gave him a bottle over the head, a beer bottle over the head, and then hits a buckshot lariat. Page had to be held back by security. Joe was groggy to get up. It looked like he was very faintly bleeding. And Adam Page this year dressed as Tony Schiavone to get the one-up on his opponent here, Samoa Joe, and that's the way the show went off the air. Page looking for some revenge on Samoa Joe after what happened at WrestleDream. That was your Dynamite. This was poorly executed, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. This took way too long. It was almost like they were waiting for. Yeah. I don't know what they were waiting for. Maybe Page had a fucking wardrobe malfunction. I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
I like the idea. I think they had a pretty damn good idea in what they did. But like you said, the timing and the execution was a little off. You know,
three pages of horror. The chat says there was no fizz in that beer. I don't know what the fuck was in that bottle, bro. It didn't look like beer, though. I'll tell you that.
I'm realizing now. I'm looking at it. Joe never took a drink from his beer. He didn't want to drink it.
I don't blame him. It looked like a Michelob.
That beer snob over here. Here we go.
Yeah, so this was fun. I enjoyed this.
It was fun. I did like it, and I wish it had came off a little bit smoother. It was even a nice little costume. He had Hangman and Shivani, like a little bit of a fat man suit under there.
Yep,
it was fun. It was awkward and weird timing by Joe trying to kill some time, and then these awkward, this silent moments of nothing happening. It just the timing was just off. But I do like the idea. It was actually a really good premise. I like what they did there.
So that was your Fright Night Dynamite. We got Collision on Saturday, which could be Game 7 of the World Series if the Dodgers have anything to say about that on Friday.
Don't look that like that. Your boy Freddie Freeman got off the other day, man.
I know, man. I miss Freeman.
Yeah, man.
I miss Freeman. So Collision may be going up against Game 7 of the World Series, which if that's the case, Tony Khan is going to be in for a brutal night, but he's got this lined up for Collision. Mercedes versus Olympia for the CMLL Women's World Title. Bandito versus Mascara Dorada or Sagrada. What did I say? Sagrada before? Is there two different guys? Mascara Dorada or Sagrada? Which one is it?
Yeah, sure. You know.
Dorada, sure. For the Ring of Honor title.
That works for me.
Nobody corrected me in the chat, so I guess nobody cares. And then Okada and Takeshita versus Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Can they coexist, pal?
So, Game 6 is in Toronto, man. I don't know. Game 6 Friday in Toronto.
I don't know. We'll see. That is your Dynamite, folks. Again, wasn't a bad show, but
yeah,
some questionable decisions on why they didn't do this or that. We're going to get into your super chats. We had 1,900 people in here on a Wednesday night. It goes to show you that pro wrestling right now is ice cold. I can't wait for Rumble season if that's the fucking case. Going to ride out this year, bro, with as little to zero excitement as possible. You know?
It's getting there. It's getting there.
I know.
How's the WrestleMania build coming?
How's the WrestleMania build coming? I don't know. We don't know yet.
I mean, what'll be looking at? What'll be looking at?
I don't know. I'm hoping for Punk and Cody.
Punk and Cody, maybe.
We got John Cena retiring on the 13th, so that'll be good.
That is true.
Survivor Series coming up.
What is our night 2 main event? Is Roman out of that picture now?
Cody versus Punk is what I hope for. I'm hoping for Roman and Braun Breaker night 1.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, get your super chats in, guys. We're going to read them and then get on out of here so I can hop on Battlefield 6. Thumbs up. We got 688 likes. Can we get that to 750? We're almost there, man. Let's get it over the finish line. And tonight we're sponsored by BetterHelp. Make sure you guys go check the description for BetterHelp. Even the toughest superstars, guys, hit rough patches. Could be stress. Maybe it's burnout. I know I get burnt out. Maybe it's that voice in your head booking bad creative 24/7. But you don't have to face it alone. We all love to vent. I do. Jesse does every single Wednesday. Yeah. We vent to you guys. We vent to our friends, a bartender maybe, even on Twitter, even on social media to a complete stranger. But not everyone's the right tag team partner for life's biggest matches. That's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who's trained to help you work through life's challenges. It's completely online, so you can schedule sessions when it fits your day. So no travel, no waiting room, no cutting a promo about your problems in public. BetterHelp's been doing this for over 10 years, helping people find the right therapist match through simple questionnaires. And if that first match doesn't feel right, you can switch therapists at any time. No extra cost, no hard feelings, and no heel turns. With over 30,000 licensed professionals and 5 million people helped, BetterHelp is the world's largest roster of trusted mental health pros, and they're all in your corner. So if you're ready to stop fighting solo and tag in someone who can help, you guys need to give BetterHelp a try. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/script. Once again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/script. Let's get into these super chats and then get on out of here, man. We're going to start at the top, which I believe is Michael Krause, as always, with a $2 super chat. The best on Wednesday, JD Jesse. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Jay Gordo with a 10. What's up, JD Jesse? I don't know about you guys, but the theme song of the conglomeration is similar to the theme song of Beverly Hills 90210. Damn, AEW needs help bad. I didn't notice, bro, because I didn't watch 90210. And I'm going to assume that Jesse didn't either.
No, I did not. But it's literally the kind of thing they were shooting for. Friends.
Yeah.
Type deal. 90s sitcom, TV show, whatever. I mean, it's kind of what they were going for. They can't give you an exact, duplicate of the Friends theme song, but what they were going for.
Michelle Moran with a 2. Darby and Company better end the Death Riders in 2 weeks. Michelle, please. Keep dreaming. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Death Riders will continue well into 26. Boreer Ransom 03. I wish I could get back my normal chat's names. I can't stand these ats. Or your boy. Well, I'm reading it completely wrong. I just butchered this guy's name for no reason. Your boy Ransom 03. $5 super chat. Isn't it ironic the only person that's over that Mercedes beat is Stephanie? I wonder why. I don't know.
That does not happen on my stream, man. I
don't know. I don't know what happened. Because Stephanie jumped to WWE. That's why. WWE saw it. They seen her. And they wanted her. And they got her. Lucky them. Tommy Brennigan with a 45 months. Hi, JD and Jesse. Hope you guys and the Ortiz family are doing all right. Wishing you all a happy holiday season. Well, thank you, brother. I mean, it's not the holiday season yet. It's just Halloween.
Halloween, man.
Scott, original, with a new membership. Thank you, Scott. Welcome. The fuck is Scott drinking here? Twister, 1296 with 499. That was one of the worst Dynamites I ever watched. No, it wasn't, bro. Come on now. Come on now. We've seen a lot worse, bro. Last week was worse. The week before that was worse. Sidro with a 2. If your foot falls asleep, do you have comatose? Yes. Yes, we do. Sidro with a 2. What award you get being a dentist? A little plaque. Okay.
Okay, that one was better. Okay.
Yeah. I'm afraid of the dentist, by the way. Sidro with a 2. What music do psychologists sing at karaoke? Shrink rap.
Okay. See, stop. Yep.
Oh, man. Mills Matt Chat with a 54 months. AJD and Jesse, hopefully everybody is good. This show is becoming very painful to watch. Even my husband can't handle this. Keep on killing it. I don't know how anybody can handle this shit, honestly. Fat Guy Drummer with a new membership. Thank you, Fat Guy. The fuck is Fat Guy drinking? Hopefully it's not a Michelob Light. Based CLC with a 999. Mercedes Money and Tony Clown are immature for kicking JD off commentary. Screw them. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be back doing something soon, man. Savion 290 with 37 months. Fell asleep during the opener and woke up during the main event entrances. No bullshit. Well, you didn't really miss much of anything, bro. So hopefully you had a good nap. Aviles with 36 months. I actually liked the show tonight. I hope they start being consistent, though. Tag was great. Finally 3 years in the venue. Thank you, JD and Jesse. Aviles, thank you, brother.
Yeah, this was definitely fun. They had good wrestling. They had some sports entertainments going on. It's a nice little mix. Stuff was advanced. We now know who number one contenders are. I mean, a lot of stuff happened. So I don't know how you can sit here and call this a bad show.
Yeah. Brian Finelli with a $50 mini bob. Thank you, brother. For cat food, bro. Happy cat day to those babies you kept. You're genuinely a good person. I wish more people knew that. Keep up everything. Thank you, brother. I hope you and your babies are doing very well as well. Richard Cohn with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, the show sucks. That's all I have to say about that shit. You and Jesse are the best. Thank you for an exciting Wednesday night. Me and my wife love you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Richard and wife. We appreciate you.
Yep.
Levi with a 37 months. Cool to see you and Grim working together again. Had a rough year. Mom passed away back in May. You, Jesse, and Solo helped me get through dark times. Thank you. Well, that's what we're here for, Levi. We are here to at least have you escape for a few hours every single week. And comments like that really mean a lot to me, man, because like I always say, you guys help me just as much as you say I help you.
100%. Yeah.
Demeter Bullion Doggy with a $8 super chat coming to us from Australia. Hey, G, what you saying about Darby beating MJF for title on top of Mount Everest? He then kisses Renee Young and Tony Khan watches with his hands in his pants. Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with your audience, man?
I don't know, man. It's Demeter Bullion. It's Demeter Bullion Doggy.
What the hell?
JD from Utah, 801 with a $2 super chat. Utah led the U.S. in GDP growth, up 4.5% last year. That doesn't mean I'm moving to Utah.
Okay. Gotta be a Mormon.
Sways with a 349. Love the pod. JD, House of Glory hid my tweet supporting you. They hit a lot of tweets. They even blocked Andrew Baydala. It's crazy. He's an AEW guy, and he's a good friend of mine. So They blocked him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. JD from Utah, 801 with a $2 super chat. Utah had 5 national parks and world-class skiing. Or has 5 national parks. Had as if they got blown up. Has 5 national parks and world-class skiing. Bro, I don't ski and I have no interest in visiting national parks, man. No interest. Zachary Cologne, 2476 with a 199. Loving the Andrew Dice Clay cameos lately. Oh, yeah. Little Skye Blue, she needed the money. Major with a 199. My baby Jade is winning her first title at Saturday night's main event. Yeah. Yeah, this is where WWE's going to get it right, man. They turned her heel on Friday, and she will win the title on Saturday. Watch. That's how you make the heel turn matter. Rebels Hockey with a 2. Blue Jays all the way. Trey motherfucking Yesevich. If I pronounce that wrong or right, I don't watch the Blue Jays, so. And Billy with a 39 months. What's up, JD? I helped you out today with Hog. They will not get my support for them to ban you. It's bullshit. They need to man up and be honest. They do. They do. A lot of my supporters have been excommunicated from their Twitter. I don't know. I don't know why anything's being done, bro. I didn't do anything. Miku Glazernate TV with a 39 months. I thought the NWO was bad, but then I look at the Don Callis family, and not even all the members were on TV tonight. Is JD and Jesse part of the Don Callis family? Yes, we are.
Yeah, for sure.
We are. I'm part of the family.
Yep.
Major with a 199. Hey, JD, come have a Corona with me. Sure. Sure. David Rice with a $20 super chat. Not the worst Dynamite tonight. I was sports entertained by the last segment. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is now available to play. Ooh. I am not a fight fan or a fighting game guy, but I certainly have played a shit ton of Battlefield 6. I'm level 44.
I still gotta play the what's the new one? The I forget the name of it.
Destiny?
But the new no, Battlefield 6. The new
Red Sec.
Yeah. I just downloaded that. Haven't played it yet though. I gotta check it out.
Demeter has another super chat before we get out of here. $7.99 from Australia. Demeter, listen, bro. I ain't playing with Jesse bullying. What's the problem, Jesse dog? I ain't do nothing but cry. I love Jimmy Neutron and Zack Sabre Jr.'s show. Do you enjoy Buddy Matthews' cooking show? Don't ask me, brother. I don't know. And Boilermaker 2006 with 41 months. Here's a dice nugget. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to find her old dog a bone. She bent over. Rover took over. Oh! Boilermaker. Thank you, brother. And Major with a 199. JC Jane is the most improved women's wrestler. No. Don't. You're not getting me to like JC Jane, okay? Anyway. Thank you guys for a great stream. We're about to get out of here. Thank you for all the love tonight. We'll be back next week, and I'll be back on Friday after SmackDown, and then Saturday night's main event. I'll be live with the post show. Jesse is going to be live streaming his genuine, real reactions. None of that fake stuff over there, bro. We love Ross, by the way. Shout out to Ross. This has nothing to do with Ross. My displeasure with reaction content has nothing to do with Ross. So be easy on Ross, okay? Seriously. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week and this weekend for Saturday night's main event. Until then, we'll see you later.